Vegas, the Sin City.
One of the wildest cities on the planet and one of the most wild challenges on the planet.
HYROX World Championships of Fitness Racing.
Who's gonna win?
There's a lot of great athletes out there from all over the world.
Who's gonna be the world champion?
Let's get ready.
The World Championships in Las Vegas were from another planet. That was the next step in HYROX history.
I just feel really thankful that an event like this exists.
Hamburg, Germany, the birthplace of a new sport.
My name is Christian Tötzke, and I've been thinking about disrupting the world of fitness for a very long time. I spent the last 27 years organizing sports events. But HYROX is a masterpiece of my professional career. I did a lot of stuff. I created a lot of sport events, but I never created actually a new sport where we started everything from the beginning. And then I started to think about fitness, and there are no events for these people where they can compete in. That's when the idea started to create something like HYROX. Actually 6-7 years ago, we had a rough concept.
My name is Mo Fürste. In a former life, I was able to win 3 Olympic medals, 2 gold and a bronze between 2008 and 2016. HYROX is my second career and without a doubt as exciting as the first one. We are here to change the world of sports. Of course, we had doubts at the beginning. There was this dream, kind of, the vision to make it a real and actual sport, but it was not necessarily that we felt like this is the breakthrough, this is how it should look like. But ever since we had the first event, which was in November 2017 in Hamburg, that was basically the tipping point, that was the decisive moment. That's when I realized, okay, this is more than just an idea. This is a real thing.
Yeah, the feedback was amazing, overwhelmingly. That was then, of course, the turning point for us to think, oh wow, this will really work. We have to bring this to the world, and we have to now really start HYROX on a higher scale.
The sport lives through athletes that identify with it, like this one, the embodiment of a true athlete. Meet a real champion. Meet Hunter.
Hey guys, my name's Hunter McIntyre. Welcome to California.
Yeah, you know, chopping wood has always been a really fun thing to do, but it takes a lot of focus if you want to take down something like this. Yeah, that was it. I've always just been a person who's been a big fan of nature. I think competition is just something that always kind of sung to my soul, and it was a way for me to express myself.
1, 2, 3. There we go.
That's heavy, dude.
I believe I found out about HYROX in 2018. I was contacted by a friend of mine named Paul. He said, I found the next thing that you're gonna be the best in the world at. And I laughed about it because I get calls about that often.
That was pretty fun. Yeah. This is what we do most days out here. No training, actually. Haven't worked out in weeks. Just chopping down trees, living the good life.
If I took this one HYROX athlete and I put them into almost any sport that's going on the planet, they'd probably be the best at almost everything amongst any athlete that I put to that test. Whether it be CrossFitter, a pro rugby player, a soccer player, track and field athlete, a HYROX athlete would be the one who has the greatest balance of all characteristics of being a great athlete. And I've always wanted to be the greatest athlete in history. There's millions of doctors, there's millions of lawyers, there's millions of CEOs out there, but there's only one world champion every single year in a sport. So it's a very rare place to be, it's a really rare place to stand. You know, I've always been the kind of guy who people think I'm a wild man. I'd climb on top of a mountain, I'd chop wood, I'd chug beer, I'd get in fist fights. That's who I am. Someone may not have ever thrown a fist in their entire life, ever had a beer in their entire life, and they go to bed at like 8 o'clock every night. That's a lifestyle too. And the greatest thing is in sport is when you find those two champions from completely different walks of life and they come together and then they compete. And that day, you know, the greatest man wins. It's really more so, you know, which of those lifestyles better? Not so much. It's just the man or the woman who toes the line that day and has the greatest potential but also puts in the greatest effort. And that's what makes sport beautiful. I think only reason why I'm better than my competitors is just because of my game plan. I think all of us are pretty genetically gifted, I guess, other than everything that's upstairs. I think some of the greatest competitors I've ever competed against are better than me, but they just couldn't put it together on race day. I worked really hard to have that imagination stuck in people's heads, but I live in their head rent-free. Not that I want cruelty or I want to get in the way of your living, but I do set up my day to make sure that my competitors know how fit I am. You know, when I post something online, it's not because I'm lying, it's just the truth. I'm in better shape than you are. I'm gonna take you guys on a little adventure. I'm gonna show you guys my dream home. I'm gonna use the money from winning world championships to buy it. That's why I train so hard for HYROX. It's not because I like working out, it's because I want to buy a house. The kind of pursuit for greatness in this sport is truly because you love it. It's not like I'm sitting on billboards and I have, you know, Rolex partnerships. This is 100% because I love it and it's what I want to do. So that's my greatest success, is just never quitting, chasing my dreams regardless of the payout.
Hunter McIntyre, he always stays true to himself. Only with the right attitude can you reach your limits.
Especially as a professional athlete, you always want to challenge yourself at the highest level.
A race that forces body and mind to perform.
It's the combination of running at a high capacity and very strength-focused, intense workout movements, basically.
You run 1 kilometer and then you do a fitness station and you repeat that 8 different times.
Also du musst wirklich ein guter Läufer sein, um da vorne dabei zu sein. Und natürlich die Workouts, die verlangen einem auch einiges ab.
What do I hate about it? Probably the sleds.
Sled, a word you might have last heard in your childhood, but so much more than a toy.
I really think that the sleds are the nemesis. I think you can not win a race at the sleds, but you can definitely lose a race there.
At HYROX, every single workout becomes a real challenge.
Ab den Lunges tut's richtig weh. Man hat zwischenzeitlich bei den Burpees immer so ein bisschen das Gefühl, dass man jetzt nicht mehr kann.
Generell denke ich, die Wallballs mag niemand. Ich habe mir gesagt, mental ist es jetzt ab sofort meine Lieblingsübung.
I think 100 wall balls by itself is a really challenging workout. So to have to do that almost an hour into a competition is such a brutal way to finish the event.
Every single one is like, you get to 20 and you realize like I'm 1/5 of the way done. Like I have to do this 4 more times.
Going all in just before the end of the race is the key to success for everyone.
The whole challenge in itself is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It's brutal, but it's also really, really fun.
That's the beauty of the sport. You can do your own time, your own pace. You just challenge yourself on your maximum level, whatever that is.
Las Vegas. Many strive for the lucky shot in Sin City.
Big course. It's a big venue.
But there's someone here who absolutely does not rely on pure luck.
It's pretty exciting seeing the stands and the venue. I mean, based on where we started a couple years ago when we were in the warehouse in Hamburg, compared to now we're in Las Vegas, kind of the wildest city in the whole wide world with stadium seating and everything. It's going to be really good. Ooh. Vegas has been a big part of my career since I started. I've been racing, obstacle course racing in Vegas since 2013. So my second ever championship I did here in Vegas in 2013. My first ever world title was here in 2013, and hoping to add another one to the list. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm in way better shape than I was last year. I think we were just in a kind of a place where I wasn't able to fully put myself in the place of being a professional athlete, and now that the season's back on, COVID's kind of settled down, the professionalism of the sport's kind of picked back up again. Obviously, I think this is the highest level we've ever competed at in this sport. Before, I think there was a lot of raw talent, and now there's a lot of developed talent, so it's gonna be very competitive. But I recognize after doing so many of these things, dude, the best thing you can do in every single station is stay as low to the ground as possible. Like when I get out of the sled, I try to keep my foot down like this and just like really quickly, just keep your feet low as possible. You know what I'm worried about the most for Saturday? It's gonna be exciting being around all these people, but one thing people don't pay attention to is the more bodies that are in a room, the more the heat increases. It's gonna be in Dallas. It was the most packed race in US history. I was dumping water on my head, and the core temperature of everybody, they spiked and then they popped. And I set the world record, but that's because I was soaking wet, dumping water on my head. So hopefully my competitors don't know that. Oh, so heavy. I think I can do 200 of these things in a row now. Yeah, all day long. It's no problem. I want my world title back. I think a quote that really influenced me that I read earlier this year is like, as soon as you win the world title, you have to earn it back again. You aren't still the world champion. You're building up to earning it the next time. So I haven't had the world title for 2 years now, so I'm excited to get it back.
It's not only Hunter chasing his dreams. Many athletes from all over the world, mixed doubles, all age groups, they all arrived in Vegas for their very own chance at becoming a world champion.
Es ist auf jeden Fall ein ziemlich ungewohntes Gefühl, erst recht mit all den anderen Top-Athleten auf einer Liste zu stehen.
Eine tolle Idee, super Idee, tolle Erinnerung, das auf jeden Fall.
Oh, it's amazing. And to be on it twice as well, because I did the mixed doubles and the single.
The excitement is tangible.
HYROX is 100% a lifestyle. It's more than a sport. It's something that people do during the week. It's something they want to achieve. It's a HYROX world.
Yeah, it has changed my lifestyle a lot. Since I'm doing this for the past 5-6 years, it definitely improved my fitness and my general feeling.
You can have 365 days a year with different kinds of HYROX workouts, competitions, merchandise, whatever you want. Everybody's invited.
We talk about people that like to have this active lifestyle, that want to live more healthy. Now to have a motivation to go to the gym because you're training for an exciting big day where you challenge yourself, gives people another reason to do that.
I'm here to support everybody. I'm excited for everybody. It's going to be an amazing race.
A little nervous, but ready.
For me, it's just about beating, doing my best and beating what we did last time.
Ja, wir wollen Weltmeister werden in unserer Altersklasse, ist ja klar.
This opening ceremony, I think it was an absolutely amazing, goose-bumping moment, and probably one of the highlights of the whole World Championships of Las Vegas.
Dear HYROX athletes, welcome to Las Vegas.
At the opening ceremony, Christian and I were speaking. So for the first time, I was at the back end of that speech.
And I hope you enjoy it tomorrow. It's going to be awesome, I promise you.
And back in the days, I was more or less, most of the time, rather annoyed by those speeches, because as an athlete, you stand there and you think you're the center of attention and it's all about you and competing. But now I can appreciate the work that needs to be done in order to set up an event like this. And our team is the backbone of the entire sport.
You know what? You guys are the rock stars. HYROX, how do you feel about this? Are you ready to do some racing? 3, 2, 1.
We spent quite a lot of time to develop it, play with the light effects and the music, and we were calling up every nation on the stage. The idea was to create a bit something like that the people feel like pro elite athletes, like as a little bit as you go to Olympic Games.
It was huge. It was way more athletes than I saw coming, yeah.
Got goosebumps and all. Full experience.
I thought it was friggin' amazing. It was a blast. I'm so excited.
It was really awesome to be recognized. Every country was.
It's absolutely amazing. When you consider that you motivate over 1,200 athletes to fly to Las Vegas from all over the world because of something you have created that makes you extremely proud. When you see the passion, the commitment of the people, that moment you know every second, every hour of work you put into this product, it's worth it.
A little bit like the Olympic Games. If that's what you were going for, you guys nailed it.
Who will sit on the HYROX throne? Is it her?
Hallo zusammen, ich bin Miriam von Rohr, 20 und komme aus der Schweiz. Hello Las Vegas, here I am. Es ist für mich schon etwas Spezielles, also schon nur die Reise. Ich bin bis jetzt noch nie so weit geflogen. Das ist sicher ein großes Erlebnis und Las Vegas ist eine Großstadt, wie ich es noch nicht so gewohnt bin. Hallo zusammen, hier bin ich zu Hause. Ich wohne zu Hause bei meinen Eltern. Hier ist das Wohnzimmer. Im oberen Stock ist mein Zimmer. Hier habe ich eigentlich zum Beispiel die Medaille von Maastricht, von der EM. Ist für mich im Moment eigentlich fast so die höchste, die ich erreicht habe.
Originally educated as a nurse, will she be able to earn her next degree as a world champion?
Vor einem Jahr wusste ich noch nicht mal, was HYROX überhaupt genau ist. Und es hat sich in dieser kurzen Zeit ziemlich weiterentwickelt. Ich trainiere 5 Tage in der Woche. Ich mache sehr viele verschiedene Sportarten, bin auch offen, Neues zu lernen. In der Schweiz gibt es so die HYROX-Community oder hier in der Umgebung überhaupt nicht. Wenn ich ab und zu meine Laufeinheiten mache und dann irgendwelche Burpees, Lunges und solche Übungen einbaue, schauen mich einige Leute ziemlich komisch an. Es gibt sehr vieles, das mir gefällt an HYROX. Ich finde, es ist eine Vielseitigkeit, wie keine andere Sportart es hat. Von Ausdauer über Kraft, viel Rennen, Sachen, die Griffkraft brauchen, Push-Pull-Bewegungen. Und das finde ich, das ist das, was nach ihnen auch die Fitness ausmacht. Ich habe auch das Gefühl, dass alle meine Konkurrentinnen sehr viel investiert haben, Fortschritte gemacht haben. Ich habe natürlich auch viel investiert, mehr in Ausdauer, Kondition, weniger Krafttraining gemacht. Und ja, die Chancen sind natürlich hier, um sich zu holen, aber ich denke auch, dass meine Konkurrentinnen die Chance haben, den Titel zu gewinnen.
Buchmann, Linda Meyer, okay. Eddie Dyer, Rachel Wanderer.
There was a classical race briefing before an elite race, which you do on that level. I'm only doing a very, very short introduction, and then the whole show goes to our global race director, Mincha.
And this is what it's looking like. So if you look at it, the left side is the wall ball stage.
For this event it was very important because it was a special format. There was a different rundown, so we had to explain the top male and female athletes how this works.
And what's happening is you're going to perform station 1 to 3 on the upper field. So that'll be ski erg, sled push, and sled pull. And then you're going to be moving down to the lower field, and you're going to be performing station 4 to 7. We as judges, we want to see chest on the ground, hands.
Yeah, it depends what you want. Some events are more about the experience, but we said from the beginning we want to be a legit sport, like every other Olympic sport. So, and that is always based on uniform rules and very strict judging. So we give very legit time. So everyone who's racing from number 1 to number 4,000, they get 100% accurate time. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, and I'm super excited for tomorrow. Thank you.
The big stage is waiting for its heroes.
Yeah, for the first time we wanted to create something different, to create a stadium atmosphere where the spectators can see every action, almost every second, every workout of the elite race. So we created these bleachers, the grandstands, around one carpet area to create this special atmosphere, which also was absolutely amazing in the end. It was a different kind of vibe. I mean, everything was packed. Everyone wanted to see the best 15 women and men of the past season.
Ich bin Viola Oberländer, bin 30 Jahre alt, komme aus München und freue mich, dass ich aufgrund der WM jetzt hier mal nach Las Vegas kommen konnte.
Sport habe ich eigentlich schon mein ganzes Leben lang ziemlich viel gemacht, auch völlig verschiedene Sportarten. Es gibt bestimmt den einen oder anderen, der sagt, ja, die ist vielleicht ein bisschen verrückt. Damit kann ich, glaube ich, ganz gut leben. Zum Glück habe ich ein paar andere Verrückte getroffen. Ja, so hier auf diesem Bolzplatz habe ich relativ viel Zeit verbracht, 2018, 2019. Hier hat eigentlich tatsächlich so diese ganze HYROX-Geschichte irgendwie angefangen. Ja, wir können ja mal eine ganz kurze Runde über diesen Bolzplatz gehen. Hier haben wir lagen dann die ganzen Matten aus und das TRX hing im Tor. Und da an diesem Basketballkorb, da haben wir immer so einen alten Medizinball gegengeschmissen. Wir haben natürlich viel das Tor genutzt, aber dann halt auch einfach mit kleinen Gewichten, mit Kettlebells. Oder auch mit irgendwelchen Gummibändern sind wir hier über den Platz gesprintet und so weiter. Das war cool. Das hat echt viel Spaß gemacht. Florian habe ich kennengelernt über die Running Society und hier über Eisbach Fit. Und der kannte sich im HYROX schon ein bisschen aus. Der hat da schon die ein oder andere Challenge mal mitgemacht. Und der hat dann irgendwann gesagt, Vio, ich glaube, das ist auch was für dich. Lass uns doch mal im Double das Ganze ausprobieren. Und naja, dann haben wir halt zusammen trainiert. Ich war maßlos überfordert, unglaublich fertig. Ich weiß noch, dass wir danach auch an der Isar lagen eine halbe Stunde und ich wusste gar nicht, wie ich wieder aufstehen sollte. Aber es war total cool. Es hat unglaublich viel Spaß gemacht und das war so der Tag, wo wir auch gesagt haben, okay, November, Hamburg, das ist unser Auftakt, da machen wir jetzt ein Double. Dann rückte der Wettkampf näher und wir haben gesagt, ja, also Hamburg im Double, das wollen wir schon gewinnen. Das muss irgendwie zeitlich, muss das machbar sein, ohne dass ich jemals vorher einen HYROX gemacht habe. Letztlich sind wir in Hamburg angetreten, haben den damaligen Weltrekord von den Männern im Double geknackt. Das war ein super geiler Auftakt und das war so der Start von HYROX für mich. Ja, was mich motiviert, ist schon das Streben nach einer Verbesserung. Man will immer noch ein Stückchen besser werden und noch ein bisschen verrücktere Übungen ausprobieren und einfach zu gucken, ob das geht. Ich bin zu langsam für einen guten Läufer und ich bin zu schwach für einen guten Crossfitter. Von daher, ich bin so ein Hybrid, so ein Mittelding. Und das ist, glaube ich, das, was beim HYROX aber sehr positiv ist. Klar, Las Vegas ist, ich war da noch nie. Also ich stelle es mir ziemlich cool vor und ich glaube auch, dass das als Location natürlich einfach für so ein Event richtig gut ist. Also da freue ich mich drauf.
Viola in Las Vegas, but not at the end of her dreams yet. The sun sets in Vegas, while the excitement for the athletes reaches another level.
Ich freue mich jedes Mal, dass ein HYROX-Event stattfindet, wenn ich halt mitmachen kann. Aber ich stehe auch jedes Mal dann an der Startlinie in den letzten 10 Sekunden und denke mir, warum stehe ich eigentlich hier? Wieso tue ich mir das halt immer und immer wieder an?
The question why is very present. Until this moment of relief.
The women's race was incredible. It started with a few of the athletes seen as the favorites, which in the end none of them finished, at least not in the top 2.
It's a long way to the top. They were all together at the start. But still, there's a small group leading the field until the athletes reach the separator of the HYROX race, the sleds.
I actually went into it with my stomach was a little uneasy and kind of had, through the first several stations, I think they're some of the hardest stations too. The sled push and the sled pull are always very challenging for me.
Beim Sled Push stehe ich immer eine ganze Weile. Wenn sich der Schlitten nicht bewegt, dann kommt erstmal leichte Panik. Und wenn ich merke, es funktioniert eigentlich ganz gut, dann läuft meistens auch der Rest ganz gut.
The sleds are critical for Linda Maya. At the World Championships in 2020, she had to withdraw from the race early. She learned a lesson from that, for herself and for Vegas.
Man geht halt nicht nur körperlich an seine Grenzen, sondern auch einfach mental, weil man ganz häufig diesen Moment hat, dass man halt aufhören möchte, weil man halt einfach nicht mehr kann.
This time, she is on top of it all. Body, mind, and her competitors. But her biggest challenge has yet to come. Because this is the moment Chris Rogloski starts her comeback.
You know, I'd look at the lap board as we would run past, and I started counting. I realized I was like, I'm in 4th or 5th place, like. So it's just kind of crazy. And then coming out of the farmer's carry, I was right behind 1st and 2nd place.
Close, very close. And then she surpasses the leader, Linda Maya, and is suddenly leading the race.
Ich habe natürlich gemerkt, dass ich geführt habe. Ich habe aber auch auf den letzten Kilometer halt einfach gemerkt, dass ich einfach auch nicht mehr schneller konnte. Also ich habe sie halt an mir vorbeirennen sehen, aber meine Beine wollten halt einfach nicht mehr.
It's not over yet. One workout to go. The one that decides it all. The wall balls.
I went into the wall balls. I had a little bit of a lead, and I'm decent at wall balls, but I'm under, like, I don't consider myself the best at all. It's this hard balance of everything hurts and I just want to take a little breather, but also it's the very last thing, like just finish it out. And I just took very short breaks, and in those breaks, I know everything was just screaming at me, like my head, my body, I was like, just felt like death. But I just knew I had to take a deep breath and go right back into it. And those last several wall balls were very painful.
It's her first time on the World Championship stage, and yet she was unstoppable up to the title.
It's pretty cool. This is kind of unreal. I never thought I'd be here, so this is really neat.
I saw Chris Ruglowski already at the last events in the United States, and I knew she's a strong runner and I knew she could be up there, but the way she won the race at the end was just unbelievable.
Meine Beine haben so zugemacht, ich habe es versucht, aber heute ging nichts mehr, das war Game Over. Ich bin eigentlich froh, dass ich es überhaupt noch geschafft habe. Also ja, ich bin total happy und ich weiß immer noch nicht, was ich sagen soll, das hört ihr wahrscheinlich.
I was impressed by Linda Meyer, who really improved from the last World Championships, who was basically in the top 3 throughout the race.
Für mich war es im Kopf heute etwas schwer, konnte mich nicht so richtig pushen. Und ja, das Ergebnis ist schon nicht schlecht, aber auch bei den Wallballs hatte ich eigentlich vor, unbroken zu gehen, aber irgendwie heute hat der Kopf nicht so mitgespielt.
Miriam, she's strong in all the workouts, she's a decent runner, so she might be the future of HYROX, yeah.
She is the present of HYROX, and likely the future. Chris Ruglowski, 30 seconds faster than everyone else. She surprised everyone, including herself.
Today was by far my best performance, but I know I still have it more in me, and I'm ready to come back for more. I'm not even at the best yet. I'm definitely gonna get better.
Giving their best is the goal for everyone racing in Vegas today.
It's the only existing mass participation fitness event. It's 100% inclusive, from the fittest people on earth to very average people.
You just have to believe in yourself in a way, and if you look at a marathon, for example, you wouldn't consider yourself as a marathon runner necessarily. But if you look at a marathon and at the 40,000 people competing at the Boston Marathon, you see that it's accessible for everybody. Not necessarily in a 2-hour time, but there's a big, range of people competing in marathons. And HYROX is the marathon of fitness.
(1,200 athletes from 24 countries.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
Between 16 and 67 years old. HYROX is a sport for literally everybody.
Anybody can do it, and for somebody like me that doesn't come from a huge sports background, it's very, as much as it's overwhelming and it really challenges everything that you have, it is such a huge challenge, it's also very doable.
Man ist einfach fit und kann eigentlich jegliche Sportart für HYROX nutzen, darauf zu trainieren. Und dass es einfach eine Wettkampfform gibt für Ausdauer und Kraft für jedermann, das macht es eigentlich für mich aus.
Für viele, die einfach so bisher für sich trainiert haben und es so in der Sportart, wo sie zu Hause waren, eigentlich keine Wettkämpfe so richtig gab, ist das jetzt ein gutes Modell, ja.
They're chasing their top performance, just like the best athletes. They faced a challenge. Every drop of sweat tells a story of destiny, will, and success.
It's amazing, the ambience, and we have traveled 24 hours to come here, and we're so happy to be here.
was great. I think it was our best race that we've done so far.
We're all doing it together, so it's really motivating to be a part of it.
Es ist einfach nur genial, hier in Las Vegas einfach dabei zu sein, einfach Spaß haben und jetzt freuen wir uns auf die Cocktails direkt mitten in the town of Las Vegas. HYROX World Championship, amazing.
Das ist so cool, aber ich muss jetzt erstmal Luft holen.
Oh my God, I need a beer. That was amazing. I'm gonna cry, I'm amazed.
This is great for everybody. You can do whatever you put your mind to. So this is outstanding.
This sport is inspiring.
Das war mein Ziel fürs Leben. Ich hab's.
And gives a new purpose to many. Irrespective of age or gender, everyone, even entire families, feels the bite of the HYROX bug.
Hi, I'm Tom Hogan. I'm 40 years old. I'm a married father of 4. I'm from Wexford in Ireland. My day job is I own a print shop.
I'm Dina Hogan, the better of the two halves. I'm 40 years old as well, and I'm a stay-at-home mum.
Come on in.
This is probably our biggest achievement to date. This is a national competition here from a TV programme to find Ireland's fittest family. We did it with 2 of our sons. We did quite well.
In late 2019, I came across HYROX online somewhere and thought that looks interesting. So we entered for Hanover, or I entered it, and we just loved it.
It's something we can do together. I love that it involves so many different elements.
I win.
Cheated on me.
So we live in Ferns. It's a small little village in County Wexford. It's so small, you know. When I won my age group in Leipzig in the championships, and Tom was in the elite. The local paper would run the story, and our neighbours, you know, oh, there's the crazy Hogans. There they are running 10 times a day.
The sport moves the whole family.
Had you a good day in school? Yeah. This is Miss Tess Hogan, the boss of the house. Huh? Hello. Yeah. Hello. If I was to pick one of the kids that will make it in HYROX, it'll be Tess.
Yeah?
Yeah. She's kind of an all-rounder. She's a little bit like us.
Just work for 40 seconds and rest for 20 seconds.
Okay.
In a way, it's kind of why we do it. To kind of show the kids that whatever they want to do, if you work hard at something, you will get the rewards at the end. And that could transfer not just into sport later in life, but really it applies to everything. We get inspiration from them. Hopefully they get a little bit of inspiration from us. It brings us all closer too. Some kids don't even want to know their parents, and the fact that they'll come down and do this with us is brilliant, really.
Showdown in Las Vegas. Time for the race between the strongest men of the year.
First of all, I expect to win. I don't train for anything other than that.
Es ist mein größtes sportliches Highlight.
Jedes Mal ein großartiges Erlebnis, ein großartiges Feeling, überhaupt da dabei zu sein.
Es sind einfach die 15 Besten der Welt. Es sind alles Megasportmänner.
Der das am meisten will, der wird's machen.
My greatest strength is the composure and the skill set that I have when I do decide to win. I'm the best in the world at it. It's like a light switch. If you decide to turn it on, it works.
3, 2, 1.
They all have switched on their light but only one of them can shine. To win, you have to be at your A game. Something that might not be reachable for one of them right now. Title candidate Ryan Kent.
3 weeks ago, I came down with a stomach bug. I lost like 6 pounds, but I was able to recover, put the weight back on, and then just a week ago, I came down with another cold. I was on a roller coaster ride these last couple weeks, not knowing how I would feel today, or even if I'd be able to line up at the start.
But Kent is in. He's in to win and to beat him. Hunter McIntyre, who has the early lead and forces Kent into a role he does not like.
More times than not, I am leading the race and I'm in a better headspace. So today, I just had to try to stay positive and just take it one piece at a time. Don't think too far ahead. You can't think about, you know, the last fitness station when you're only on the second one. So just staying in the moment and moving from one thing to the next.
In close distance to McIntyre and Kent is also the Austrian runner-up at the 2021 World Championships, Alexander Ronkovic.
Natürlich misst man sich auch an den anderen, mit den anderen, und das hilft eben einem auch nochmal vielleicht über seine eigenen Grenzen drüber zu gehen und vielleicht mal 110% zu geben.
It almost seems impossible to beat Hunter McIntyre today. But with Kent, Ronkovic and Vinesh, there are 3 all-stars waiting for Hunter to slip.
I didn't lose HYROX ever up until last year. And I thought to myself, I was like, no one can touch me, so I don't really need to work as hard as everybody else does. Where life got a little bit easy and I really rode that lazy river, if you know what I mean. That's where you can get into your own head.
Can anyone beat him today? Can Kent turn this race around?
My name is Ryan Kent. I'm 36 years old. I am a full-time UPS driver and I live in Castle Rock, Colorado.
And he has just one thing on his mind.
This is where I work out and where I have.
That was a joke.
All my neighbors around here just know me as like the crazy fitness guy. I tend to put all my equipment out here and all the people driving by, living next door, they all see it. And I've had a few come over and kind of ask what I'm training for.
Sport is in the family.
Hey,
go to your playroom?
come on, let's go. My dad is somebody I really look up to because he's the reason that I've become an athlete. My dad was an athlete. He was a marathon runner. He was a bodybuilder. My dad was a world champion arm wrestler. That's one reason this World Championships is very important to me, is I want to share that world championship with my dad that he earned in arm wrestling. HYROX is still so new that people are still trying to figure out the best way to train for it. It's really trying to piece together like a 1,000-piece puzzle. I mean, it's so many different things coming together and you have to blend it perfectly. Yeah, the first HYROX I ever did was in Miami back in 2019. I had heard about it just through some other, fitness friends and thought I'd give it a try. And this is the kind of music I'll listen to before a race. Some people got like Drake or, Lil Wayne, but your boy be listening to that country music. little small town only.
Ryan Kent stays true to his roots.
And you would think that, oh yeah, HYROX is flat. Like you don't need to run hills. But I run a lot of hills. There's a lot of power in your lower body that you can get from running hills. When I was training for HYROX Chicago, these trails were covered in snow. I was out here running in 1 feet, 2 feet of snow. I think my biggest success so far has been winning the HYROX North American Championships. I think a lot of people didn't expect me to beat Hunter. That was years of hard work that was built for that one moment. And, you know, as crazy as it sounds, I feel even more prepared going into Vegas.
Back in Vegas, the current leader has arrived at the rowing station. And the question arises, will the US Championship story repeat itself today? Can Kent beat McIntyre again? And what are the others doing?
Wenn es 1 gegen 1 geht, bin ich immer motivierter, versuche jedes Mal dran zu bleiben, durchzubeißen und ich verliere wirklich nur, wenn der andere besser ist. Also am Willen wird es nicht liegen.
But he seems to be better than the others today.
You know, in a race like that, it's never going to be somebody challenging you. It's you challenging yourself. And if you can use those other people to push yourself harder, that's great. But if you allow those other people to own part of your mind during a race, that's 100% how you lose a race.
He doesn't leave room for the competition to shine. He flies through the workouts and extends his lead. No sign of fatigue, which cannot be said for everyone.
The question of mental strength and physical strength is like the chicken or the egg type thing. It's like, if you're not physically strong enough, you're not gonna ever get there, but if you're not mentally strong enough, you're never gonna get anything out of it. You have to be well trained, you have to be a beast, but then once you get on that extra high level, which is the world level, where you're competing against people that they're all in on this, and that's where the mental game comes in.
The big goal in front of his eyes, leading with passion and confidence. Hunter McIntyre, unstoppable on his way to the title.
It feels good to be back, man. You know what? A famous quote that I read is, as soon as the World Championships is over, you're fighting to get it the next year, and I've been fighting for the past 2 years, and it's nice to have it right now.
He made it, and his 2 biggest supporters are right there with him.
Phenomenally proud. He worked his ass off. So I love him very much, and I'm proud of him.
I'm very lucky to have a family that believes in me. You know, I didn't do the traditional route. I dropped out of college. I said that I wanted to make this my career.
Well, you know, Hunter McIntyre was preparing himself to being a world champion for basically 12 months. He is a class of his own right now, but the world will chase him, and I'm 100% sure that there will be a lot of athletes trying to compete with Hunter. At the moment, he's on top.
While Hunter has crossed the finish line and reached his dream, his competitors are still fighting.
I'm proud of that performance because I was not on my A game today. But I think honestly, Hunter was so good today that even if I was on my A game, I don't know that I would have been able to take him.
Ryan Kent showed a strong performance throughout the entire year actually, but also at the World Championships. And he's a deserved silver medal winner.
Das Rennen passt wie nach Plan. Am Anfang versucht mitzugehen und dann einfach dranbleiben, kämpfen und wie erwartet
Der Kampf mit den zwei Amis, Hunter, Ken, Gratulation an die beiden.
I'm just so impressed by Alexander Ronkovic from Austria. He is a machine. He is always a little bit underestimated. And Alexander always performs. He finished twice second at the World Championships. Now he finished third behind these two really strong athletes. And I think we will see a lot of him in the future. And I wish him all the best.
I'm focused. I've been watching for the
We wanted to make it as big as possible. And what's bigger than Las Vegas? What's bigger than the United States when it comes to fitness? So I think it was a good step, a smart step, and we're more than happy that it was so successful.
I got the feeling that you know.
The plan is to always make our events better. Las Vegas has set a new standard, which should be now the role model for every event people can expect for next season. So we always want to thrive and improve our product and give people the best experience they can find everywhere in the world.
So welcome to the fire.
I think our major task right now is to tell the HYROX story, to let many people know what this beautiful sport is, and that this is accessible for everyone, that you can do HYROX just like you can play soccer with your friends or football or whatever it is.
We are very ambitious. We want to grow into new markets, and we will. We are talking to Asia and Australia in the moment, and South Africa.
We want to make this a successful sport all over the world. The United States are next. We want to really get the tipping point there and make the Americans love HYROX and compete at HYROX. And from there on, the entire planet is left.
So welcome to the fire.
Our goal is every year to make the events better. We have to go the next step. We have to increase the excitement for our participants, for our community, but also for us.
We want to be in like legit sport that could be an Olympic sport one day. And that's the ultimate goal.
And why shouldn't it? HYROX is here to stay. The new sport of fitness racing.
Welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire.